it out in person and on paper. And we'll start with.
A couple of things I would like to look at is a track record of growth, not necessarily by leaps and bounds, but that trend line has to go up. We all have dips in it, but in general, the regression analysis needs to keep it going up. That includes things like grades. If you're fresh out of school, I'm going to look at grades. I'm going to look at the courses that you're taking in that area also, degrees, vertical movement within the organizations that you have been employed at. Movement and activity with the prior employers, and also trainability. And saying when we work with clients is hire for ability, not for skills. As Lisa said, skills are trainable, but if you have a sense of somebody who is pleasant, interested, wants to work through problems in my industry, that's a real positive. But the trend line has to go up, and you've got to want the job.
I would say know who you're interviewing with in terms of the business. So you need to either have an understanding of the business and what it is, or an appreciation for what it is that we are doing and what we're looking for. You know, perhaps it's recent press releases, perhaps it is, you know, just a clear understanding of what's on our website, because that really does highlight what's important to the organization. And it is really nice when you interview someone and you're speaking with someone and there is a recognition about what's happening in the operation. Definitely a plus.
Yeah, and I think that's because somebody's taken the time and effort to do the research prior to coming to the interview, and I think that's extremely important. You know, I can't tell you how many times I was interviewing people and they literally came with nothing in their hand. Literally nothing, and they sat down and drove me nuts. I said, "You've got to be kidding me." So in that 5 seconds, they weren't getting, I didn't care who they weren't getting the job, right? But it was just a lack of respect for the process, lack of respect for the organization. They had done no homework and were just expecting it. It was almost an entitlement thing. Also look at activity and success going all the way back to high school and college. Love people who paid their way through college, loved athletes, because in college is a huge burden of time. It becomes a how do you manage your time. The grade's important, but the activities along with that, and then each progression, what have they done, and have they demonstrated success, and how have they overcome some of the hurdles related to that. I think that's critically important, because now you're starting to build character and characteristics and traits of that individual.
Yeah, we're always looking for people with good energy, good attitude. We're always looking for people that are coachable. So we have a lot of confident people that we meet with that aren't coachable. You can tell that they're very confident, but we wouldn't be able to mold them. And then I'm always looking for that story, that tough story, but they overcame it and they still have a good attitude. That's always key, and I always am digging into their goals, and that's probably one of the #1 things on the resume that I'm looking at is what's their goals, what's their vision, and then digging into that more in the interview.
Yeah, and let me just say one. I tell you what's, and as Cody was talking, the written thank you note, extremely powerful. The email, not so much. But when I got a written note, or typed and signed, boy, that really, because it happens so rare now, that when I got it, it really stood out. So.
Thank you. All right, do we have some additional questions for the panelists? And if you could ask both your question and if there's a particular person that you want to answer.